Mrs. Melanin.
And I'm Belief Mel.
And we're here with episode 155 of
How Married Are You? Okay, my name Belief. This is Yvette, and we've been married 12. Live in California, and we got
4 kids.
Relationships scary. It's very necessary. We share our love or struggles. We ask how married are you? Every Tuesday and Thursday again. If you're listening, you're in the wedding party. It's okay if you want to put your hands up. You got the questions, we got the answers.
It's chocolate baby story time.
Check chocolate baby story time.
It's chocolate baby story time.
1, 2, 3, and...
It's chocolate baby story time.
What you got?
Okay, so the other day I picked up the kids from on campus. They get in the car and I am automatically bombarded with this story about Anaya Zai and what is it called? Reading buddy time. So apparently Theo's class goes into like the JK and kinder classes every once in a while to read them a story. And when they go into the class, the kids have a choice of who will be their reading buddy. Like the little kids apparently get to choose who their reading buddy is going to be. Well, Anaya had the opportunity to choose between one of our friends' daughters and the boy that she is deeply crushing on.
Yeah.
And so we were all, I guess, the person who she was supposed to, like the person who you would have like assumed, the little girl that you would have assumed she'd choose to be her partner, she didn't choose that person. And the kids were talking about like her feelings possibly being hurt or whatever, and how she was disappointed that Anaya didn't choose her. Well, then Anaya says to me, or she goes, I didn't want to hurt her feelings, but I had a feeling if I chose her, my feelings would be hurt. Mm-hmm. He's so handsome.
Yeah, she's so dramatic.
Those were her words.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness. It's girls over bros. Like, what is it? Hoes over bros?
Yikes.
Just kidding.
What? No, that's not
That's
the
not it
expression
at all. You know, but you choose your friends over the guys. I got a teacher. But I just thought it was really funny, just this girl and how she is crushing on this young boy. And let me tell you something, y'all. He's a handsome young boy.
You just called all women hoes, just so you know.
I didn't.
That.
We're not hoes.
No.
I'm not calling nobody hoe. But I was trying to remember what the saying, and hoe rhymes with bro, so I forgive me, y'all. I am sorry.
Right.
I did not mean that.
Yeah. I'm going to save this. So Anaya got in a car with me the next day, and she told me how much she liked this kid. And we were in the car. It just was such a cute conversation. Mm-hmm. And internally, I was melting, like drinking lava. And she was just like, man, I want to marry him. And I'm like, what in the heck is going on here? It just was so out of pocket, man. If you guys have us and you watch us on our sister channel, Belief in Fatherhood, you will enjoy the conversation that Anaya and I had. So make sure you guys check that out. I tried to make sure I covered up the guy's name so you guys wouldn't know his name or anything like that, but it is a very cute conversation. Mm-hmm. Let's move forward. We got some emails.
Yeah. I just want to let y'all know my name is spelled with a Y. It's Yvette. Just letting y'all know. What's wrong?
Hungry.
Oh. Okay. Hello, Glenn and Yvette. I love y'all's podcast and Belief in Fatherhood. It's always the highlight of my week. To start, I'm using fake names, LOL. I'm a single 32-year-old woman with no kids. In my friend group, everyone is either married, has kids, or in a relationship. I am the type of friend that when I know you can use help, if I have the capacity, I will help in whatever way that may look. And that's how my friends have been to me, so it's not one-sided. My closest friend, Sally, who is 31, has been married to her husband, Matt, who is also 31, for about 3 years, together for 10 years. They have a 2-year-old, and Sally is currently pregnant with their second child. They are my godchildren. Me and Sally have been friends for 10 years, so I've been cool with her husband as long as we've been friends. I've always shown up for Sally, whether it's needing a hand planning kids' birthday parties, or if Sally mentions she's burned out and I plan on visiting. I live 4 hours away. I try to help her with my godchild if I can. Now, this never seemed to be an issue with Matt before, but lately he has been making comments like, if Sally said she's hungry, he'd respond with, what's Ashley going to do? get you? Or why don't you ask Ashley? And this is when he knows I'm on the phone with Sally. Sally did tell me that during a conversation with Matt, she was asking for help to do something, and he wasn't trying to help and complained and gave excuses. Side note, this is the dynamic of their relationship. She had mentioned, I'm just going to ask Ashley to help me, which I feel messed things up. Now, even though Matt is still cool with me, I do feel tension and hear sly comments when I am in a place of helping my friend. I don't know what to do. Should I stop showing up for my friend as much as I have, or should I not let this stop me from being there for the people that are there for me? Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Ashley. Her name's not Ashley.
Yeah, but it is Ashley.
Yes.
So shout out to Ashley. Thank you for this email. I think we have been in this situation before. And I would say that this situation is, what do you think?
No, keep going.
I think that this situation is interesting because here's what I don't know. Okay, I don't know if she asked him for something and he said no. Like, I don't want us to do that. Or if she said, or if he said no, no, I don't want to do that. Right? And then she's like, well, I'll just get Ashley to do it, which turns him into Ashley's, I'm sorry. What's the other
Sally.
name? Sally.
No, Ashley
is a replacement for Matt. So Matt's kind of like triggered and he's being petty, passive aggressive. And he's like, why don't you ask such and such? You know what I'm saying? I think that it is. Now that's giving him the benefit of the doubt, saying like, I don't know if he's saying no to them, right?
Okay,
but
so
really,
I don't know if you caught this line. She said, Sally did tell me during a conversation with Matt, she was asking for help to do something and he wasn't trying to help and complained or gave excuses. And then she goes, side note, this is a dynamic of their relationship.
Yeah, so they have marital problems. They have marital issues that
Ashley is fulfilling.
Yeah.
Or she is filling in the gap for Sally.
Right. And so they need help solving the marital issue, which is not Ashley's job. Because if she's able to say, well, I'll just ask Ashley to do it, then it basically says that he's not needed. And he doesn't like feeling not needed. So his feelings are getting hurt.
Yes.
And his insecurities are being exposed.
Ooh. Okay.
What do you think?
I see that. It's interesting because I feel like this goes back to, I don't know if it was the last episode or the episode before last, where I was talking about how our therapist was telling us how, you're looking for something in Glenn that you would be getting from these other relationships that are kind of not where they usually are. Are my earrings making noise in the microphone? Sorry. I gotta start wearing better jewelry on podcast days. What was I saying? Yeah, so she was saying that. And so it's kind of like, ooh, wait, this is where it takes a turn. So like, when does that become a bad thing? And I think it becomes not necessarily an unhealthy thing. It becomes unhealthy when the friend is fulfilling something that the spouse could fulfill or that is an actual marital issue.
I don't know when because there's situations where like I've been like, you're like, yo, my friend needs me. And I'm like, where's her husband? You know what I'm saying? And you're like, I don't know, but I'm going. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that ain't your job. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's a few things happening here because I can understand Matt's perspective, right? But I also understand that Ashley's a good friend.
Yeah. So I feel like, okay, so I'm curious because honestly, I don't think we've done this like in our situation, but I'm curious, what would a direct conversation look like and sound like? Like, does Ashley need to address Sally or does Ashley need to address Matt directly? Or is Sally the issue?
Matt needs to go to therapy. But I know another thing that happens is Matt maybe, and this is just all speculation, but when a woman gets pregnant, a man's role changes and it gets real insecure real fast.
Talk to me more about this.
Because, okay, so you have a baby inside of you. You're developing a relationship with the baby, and they already have one child, correct? Right? And so basically, he is he can take pride in the position that he has as a father, right? But he may not be getting needs met in other areas. And so instead of communicating that, he may be trying to like put up a boundary or say like I don't want to do this, or just being lazy. I'm not sure what the situation is, but because Sally is pregnant, Ashley sees Sally in a way that is like, no, by any means necessary, I'm going to care for you. You know what I'm saying? And Matt is like, what about me?
So are you saying that Sally being pregnant is in need of care? And because everyone's attention seems to be focused on Sally and the baby she's growing inside of her, including his attention in some ways, he is like, but I also have needs. Meet my needs. Is that what you're saying?
He's not communicating that at all.
He's not communicating that,
speculating.
but you're speculating that that might be a part of it. And so, okay, because I don't feel like we need to address Sally and Matt. I think Sally and Matt is their own issue. We need to help Ashley. So I guess we've offered her some perspective in that, or you've offered her some perspective, because I didn't even think about it that way. But like, how does Ashley show up here?
Okay, hold on. I still think.
What the heck? I'm turning off my notifications.
I still think Ashley needs to understand what's happening with Matt and Sally. Okay? So, Matt and Sally, I still think they need to understand. Okay, so Yvette and Glenn, right? Yvette had Theo.
Yes.
Glenn served Yvette well during Theo.
Oh my gosh, yes.
This was amazing.
Amazing.
Yvette got pregnant. Yvette was pregnant with Ryan.
Yes.
It wasn't so hot.
Still
Glenn,
good.
Glenn was good, but he wasn't great.
Yeah.
Glenn never got a chance to debrief and say, hey,
yes.
during it, like, we cannot do this. We cannot do that. Sex has to look like this. Like, it was a lot of conversations we did not have, nor were we ever going to have, unbeknownst to me. Like, we weren't going to talk about sex then. Even though I was like, we need to talk about sex after Theo. After
you said
Theo,
that to me?
No, I had planned to after you know what I'm saying? I was trying to let you
heal
or whatever the situation was with your body. And I was like, I need to communicate something to her. When's a good time to talk? You know, it's like I was playing double dutch and I'm just trying to wait to jump in. You know what I'm saying?
And then she ends up with a tumor that turns out to be a baby.
Yeah, we thought she had a cancer. Turns out she had a baby, right? And so I was like, oh, I can't talk about this at all yet. And so...
You don't... okay. Okay.
No. Because during the first pregnancy, you read Supernatural Childbirth. And it was like this crazy experience with Theo. As a matter of fact, I remember you saying, I could do that again right after pushing out the baby. Blood everywhere.
No way, for real? I said that?
Yes.
In the room?
In the room. During Uriah's birth, it was like, I can't do this. We cannot do this. I'm like, faith over fear, babe. You're like, no. Right? Same mantra.
I don't even remember that.
Right? I'm like, you need to read that book again. You know
it's because we didn't have Shan.
Yeah. So totally different situation, and I couldn't communicate. So I was a little bit more debilitated then in that situation. And so just from my perspective, if there was someone else who was meeting your needs and I was kind of like, no, we have to talk. You know what I'm saying? What?
I think you're giving him a little bit too much.
I'm just speaking from Glenn's perspective.
Okay.
But if there was someone else there who was like helping you out and seeing you, and I was being like, yo, I'm not seeing either. You know what I'm saying? That would have been difficult. But also me knowing through the art of fatherhood, knowing that it's not about me at all, sir. It's not about you at all. Right now she has a baby. That's the most important thing. The whole world is attuned to this woman's body, right? He has to understand that. I think I think Ashley is a good friend. And I think that Ashley should protect her relationship with Sally and should encourage Sally to talk to Matt. Because if she is Team Sally, then she's also Team Matt.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so I would also bring it up. Hey, I noticed you talking this. Is this something that I'm doing wrong?
You're bringing it up to Matt?
Both of them together. Hey,
Yeah.
noticed when I'm on the phone, I like these Slack comments. I love you both. I'm just trying to be here for my friend, but at the same time, I don't want to become a hindrance. Is there something that I could be doing better?
Yeah.
And that's right in your face. And he's going to have to be like, no, you're doing fine. Or I need to go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to confront himself.
He's going to have to be honest. And
Right.
And she can only take what he says as the truth.
Right. Because when I think that if someone was to come and show up for you, I don't know if I would be as bothered by that. But when you show up for other people more than you show up for me, I get bothered. I get very defensive and insecure and like, oh my gosh, she's going to leave me.
Do you want to elaborate on that? Because I feel like we've had conversations about that before, as far as like sometimes for other people, it's easier to like see their need and meet their need.
You got to scoop for it. You're a little bit out of focus. Sorry.
Versus with you, like even earlier, I had a solution. It wasn't a solution, but you know, I had a offering and you were like, I need you to hear or something. What did you say?
You said I should go to X place. I said, no, thank you. Please don't look that up. You said, you want me to look up tickets for you to go to X place. I said, no, please do not do that. You said, the tickets are this price. I just asked you not to look it up.
Yeah.
And I asked you if you wanted a hearing aid for your birthday.
And I said, no.
And I said,
And
you said, I hear just
you.
fine. I said, okay, well, listen to me. Because I don't want to spend money going to that place.
Yeah. But see,
See what?
the context is lost. But anywho, what I'm saying is like, yeah.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying that in like you had brought up, you know, what you have an issue with is when I am there for other people but like more than I'm there for you. And what I was trying to communicate is that like sometimes it's easier to see needs. Like this mom is tired. I'm going to either order her food and take it to her, or I am going to make her dinner and drop it off at her house or something like that. You know what I mean? Versus you, it's not always tangible what you need.
Right.
And so what am I supposed to do? Sit here and hold space for you and like, you know what I mean? Like what does that look like?
Yeah. So in my order, right, of operations, right, it goes, if Yvette needs me, I'm to stop what I'm doing and go serve Yvette. Okay. If the kids need me, I am to stop what I'm doing to go serve the kids. If one of my friends need me, as long as Yvette and the kids are good, I'll go serve one of my friends. And so what it was, and I don't know if you were noticing it, is it went the Yvette, the kid, for you it went the kids, your friends, and then me. Like I came after them. Like you saw me after them. That's just how I perceived it. So what I was more saying, like, hey, before you go do that, I'm struggling too. You know what I'm saying? I just want you to know I'm struggling too. And you're like, yeah, but this is big. And I'm kind of like, yeah, but you don't know. I'm having the same thing. It just looks different. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not that I need you to come and hold my hand or whatever. But if you're pregnant, it would be, in our situation, it would be, I'm Matt and Ashley needs Sally. And Sally is going to serve Ashley. You know what I'm saying? Driving hours to go serve Ashley. You know what I'm saying? Well, Matt is kind of like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need you, you know? And I think that even in those situations before, I don't know, you can speak to it, but you might be able to have, it just happened. You know, it just happened in October. You know what I'm saying? Where it was like, hey, this thing, but I'm like, this. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, but this. And I'm like, all right. You know what I mean? So that's where it kind of gets weird for me. But that's not to say that I'm right in that situation, because it also speaks to my insecurity about me being abandoned. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a fear of abandonment.
Yeah.
Which plays, I have a fear of abandonment, but I do feel like you have a fear of abandonment too.
I do.
You have a fear of abandonment from me.
Yeah. And
I have a fear of abandonment from you, I think. So we're both scared we're both going to leave. But so it looks different. So
yeah, it does look different.
Because I'm so scared you're going to leave me. I'm holding on to you.
Yeah.
And you're so scared I might leave that you're holding on to other people. That's how it shows up.
It feels like yeah.
Yeah.
Why would I cut everybody out just to?
Yeah, I might need these fools.
I got to show up for them so that when you leave me, they can show up for me.
Yeah. And
that is not funny. I'm laughing. This is like a very weird laugh.
Yeah, laugh to stop yourself from crying type situation. So this is all stuff we discovered in therapy.
Yes.
And stuff that if you have a mentor couple, they will help you figure these things out.
Very good segue.
Yeah, which is a good reason why you need a mentor couple in this season. If you don't have one, you can use us digitally.
The Premarital Advantage.
The Premarital Advantage is our e-course. It basically helps you walk through the conversations you might need to have before you tie the knots, before you get in a serious relationship, engaged. Even if you're thinking about being with someone else, you should check out the Premarital Advantage. It is for you. Even if your first couple years of marriage, this e-course is specifically made for you. There's just conversations that you want to have. And if speaking of, choosing well, combined in individual goals, things that you still want to do. You may not have had conversations with your spouse or with your significant other, like, hey, I actually really want to do these things in my lifetime. Is this something I can count on you to help me do? Or is this something I'm going to be like a solo mission doing in myself? And letting the person know that, hey, it's okay for me to have these goals and dreams and what have you. But yeah, that's the Premarital Advantage. It's available now. It's really inexpensive. Make sure you pick it up and buy it. And join us on your journey. Let us join your journey.
Yes, please. Do we want to get into another email, or do we want to...
Yeah, I think I'm going to cut the first part of this out.
Yeah.
And re-deliver it.
Okay. Okay. I felt like this next email is applicable to hold on, you guys, sorry. Okay. I feel like this next email is applicable to this conversation just because it's dealing with boundaries in relationships. So I'm going to go ahead and read this email. Hi, Glenn and Yvette. I absolutely love you all's family and podcast. I first stumbled upon you all after hearing Black Joy's Magic Song, which is awesome. Please continue sharing your positive light with the world. We desperately need it. It's always interesting hearing how people find us.
Yeah.
Now, if you two could help me, come to a resolution to an ongoing issue I'm having in a relationship of 10 months, I'd greatly appreciate it. I've been dating a guy, 55 years old, for 10 months now. I'm 44. We both have adult children, have our own. What are you?
We are the kids in this situation.
We are their children. We both have adult. No, we're not. We're basically 44. We both have adult children, have our own homes, and enjoy intentionally dating each other. We plan on getting married within the next 2 years. However, I think this big issue has to be resolved before marriage can happen. The issue is I have remained friends with my ex's mother after I ended the relationship with him over 2 years ago. So they've not been dating for over 2 years. During our relationship, I would go to her home for Sunday dinners, help her with a few things like running quick errands, and doing her hair on occasion because she is almost 80 years old and has limited mobility. I would also visit her a few times a month after working for about an hour. After work, I'm sorry. I would also visit her a few times a month after work for about an hour. However, once her son and I broke up, I would only visit her maybe twice a month and made sure to visit when he wasn't there. In 2021, my mom had a brain aneurysm and was hospitalized for over 40 days. I didn't know if my mom was going to survive or not. My ex's mother and I became even closer during this time, and she would talk to me and comfort me tremendously. She would even tell me to come over whenever I just needed a hug, which I did. Thankfully, my mom recovered and made it back home to us. 6 months later, I met my new boyfriend. I quickly let him know about the friendship I have with my ex's mom, and he was against it from the beginning. He said, when you break up with someone, you break up with their family also. I don't agree at all.
Me neither.
Yeah,
Remember all them gifts we used to get from your brother's ex-girlfriends?
We still in relationship with some of them. Mm-hmm. Since I've been dating my new boyfriend, I rarely visit her now because when I tell my boyfriend I'm going to visit her, we always end up arguing for at least a day or more, and I hate it. I truly love them both, but can't imagine throwing her away as if she doesn't matter to me. He doesn't understand that I put boundaries in place long before he even came along, by only visiting her when her son isn't visiting her, and I would never do anything to betray him or jeopardize our relationship. He felt that I shouldn't be going over there at all because my ex could just show up at any time. Like I told him, if he showed up, I would leave. About 2 months ago, my friend fell and hurt herself. My ex decided to move back home to look after her and help her. I told my current boyfriend what happened, and now he feels that now I can only call her on the phone. He practically forbid me to visit her. That demand definitely hurt me because I genuinely care for her. She's like a grandmother to me. All of my grandparents are deceased. Now he, on the other hand, has remained friends with his son's aunt, the mother of his child's sister. His son is 30 years old now, and he even calls her his sister. Do you guys follow? Do you follow? Okay. The friend's sister is scheduled to come into town this weekend. I'm so sorry we're late to answering this, but we're still going to answer it. The friend's sister is scheduled to come into town this weekend with her young daughters and wants to spend the weekend at his place, where I normally am every weekend, instead of staying at a hotel. I honestly don't have an issue with them staying there because I trust him, and I would be there most of the time anyway. I also understand how relationships don't have to end because a relationship didn't work out with someone else. I tried to make him understand this and relate their relationship to that of myself and my friend. He said it's not the same because he's known his sister for over 30 years and I've only known my friend for almost 3 years. I said if that mattered, then why after 6 months of dating me did you say you want me to be your wife, but you dated someone for over 5 years and never thought about marriage with her?
I don't get that argument.
Huh?
I don't get that argument, but I understand she's trying to I just think it's a reach.
I told him time doesn't matter at all. It's the quality of the relationship that matters most. Sorry for such a long email, but I wanted to give clear details and context. Please forgive me. Please give me your honest feedback. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
I feel honored that she's reaching out to us. I feel like,
Yeah.
What do you have to say?
I think it is still possible to be in relationship with someone's family after you break up.
Mm-hmm.
I do understand how that might make, like, I'm curious actually how her ex feels about her relationship with her, the mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm curious how it, like, his perspective from that side of this, because that's the one angle we're missing. Like, is he okay with it? How does he feel about it? But
imagine being 80 years old and your son
Yeah.
telling you can't be friends with somebody.
yeah, that's tough. But yeah, my initial thing is like, this woman's 80 years old. She's probably got so much life experience and wisdom to offer this woman and encourage her heart and just make her feel all whatever. And I too know what it's like to like not really have your grandparents, you know? And so to just have that, like, I always got really jealous of people who just had their grandparents that they just could, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And like growing up in the church that I grew up in, there was often people that I have all the grandmas and grandpas just because of, you know, whatever. So I understand that connection and that desire to stay connected with her.
Mm-hmm.
This new boyfriend, I understand how it makes him feel uncomfortable. However, I feel like that's his insecurity, not like, right? Like, that's an insecurity that he has to deal with.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak to him as if he was my dad.
Okay, because your dad's about the same age.
My dad's about the same age, but my mom's younger than him, right? So I'm gonna say his name, but I'm gonna use multiple different names just in case I get one of them right.
Whose name?
This guy. So I'm gonna say Daddy Lawrence. His first name is gonna be Lawrence for now.
She didn't even say his name.
I know, but I don't want him to see this and then think that she gave his name out.
She didn't give any names.
She didn't give any names, but I just want to make sure I'm gonna just go through the diaspora of old names.
Okay.
Daddy Lawrence, you're insecure. Kevin, sir. Okay? You gotta get over this. This doesn't make any sense at all. She has found someone, your girlfriend has found someone that she admires and looks up to, who is seasoned and needs maybe a daughter around. But you're letting your insecurities get in the way of a relationship that has nothing to do with you, Lucius. Okay. Eddie. Daddy Eddie. Listen to me when I tell you that you have to let go of whatever it is you think is happening, because it's obviously you're misconstruing the whole situation. There's certain situations that my wife gets in that I'm kind of like, I don't think that's a good idea. But you go ahead and do it because I trust you. Even though I don't trust nobody else there. I don't trust anybody else but the situation. I trust you. And at their grown age, they know whether or not they wanted to be together or not. And they chose not to. And she chose you. And I wouldn't let that get in the way of, you know, her growth. You know what I'm saying? Albert, do you understand me? Knock it off. This is foolishness. I think it's ridiculous. I don't really understand. I mean, I don't really think the sister-in-law or whatever it was, the son's...
The sister friend?
Yeah, the sister friend. I don't know if that equates. I think that if you have a friend and she trusts you, I think that's great. I don't understand why you can't give that same opportunity to her. And the only thing that I can speak to is that you're insecure. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're insecure and you think that this older woman is going to convince, or something's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't even know if it is a matter of the mom convincing her to get back with the son. I think it has to do with proximity. I think that because he is 11 years older than her, and I'm assuming this young man, the ex, is probably closer to her in age.
Yeah.
He's probably like, man, if you're over there, you're going to start missing the family dynamic if you run into him. Like, I think it's more of a, like, he has an issue with proximity more so than with the mom.
Yeah, I think he should hang out with the mom too.
Yeah.
They could all be friends.
Facts.
Come on, man. We know how y'all get down. Them people in that age range, they be hanging out with exes.
Everybody,
yeah, exes. That all of them be hanging out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would just go kick it with her. You know what I mean? Like when next time she goes over to see the lady's mom, and I'm sorry if this is messing you up, sweet thing who sent us this right here, but just
Take him with you.
Take him with you. You know what I mean? Go drop off a package or something like that. Get a hug yourself.
Take her some dinner and y'all have dinner with her.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think this guy's a little territorial. And it just seems a little weird. You know what I mean? It seems like he's going to mess up a really good thing because of his control issues.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we got to, this is going to start off a little rough. Yeah, but we got a comment that both our producer, Jed, and Yvette brought to my attention. And I was advised by the Holy Spirit not to say anything, but I decided that
You were going to ignore the Holy Spirit?
I'm not going to ignore the Holy Spirit, but I don't feel like I could communicate anything else until I get my point across. So
You going to ignore the Holy Spirit?
I definitely listen to the Holy Spirit, and I'm willing to take what comes with it. So let's get into this comment from a listener.
my
Now,
gosh.
we're not going to be reviewing comments. We're going to be talking about emails.
Yes.
So if you have something you want to say to us, make sure you please email us at hello@howmarriedAreYouPodcast.com.
Well done, babe.
hello@howmarriedAreYouPodcast if you want us to actually read and get involved with what you have to say. But this is a comment from a listener. Now, I propose to YouTube that nobody who is not subscribed should be able to comment. That's what something I wanted YouTube to enforce that. I don't
That's
know
a good idea.
I don't know if they're gonna listen to me, but this is the reason why I said that.
Yeah.
So let's proceed.
I took a break from watching this couple because of the husband. He wants what he wants when he wants it, in the guise of being the head of household, the father, and God's word. I just can't with him. And in 2023, she asked him a straightforward question about why he feels that she has control over him, and he tap danced around an answer, and she was reduced to using Dr. Philisms to pacify him and finesse what could have gone left, just to get him to clarify what he said. I cannot stand having to engage in conversations like that. If you charge me with doing something in a negative manner or off-putting to you, defend it with details without all the laughter and joking around. All his controlled and suppressed tones and words do not fool me. I can't imagine how communication really is with him when the cameras and mics are turned off.
Yeah. Okay, now that that's been said, I'm going to address this comment. So Yvette read the comment, and I just want to respond to it. So first things first, you're welcome to not watch the podcast if you don't like it. We don't need you to watch it. We don't want you to watch it. This is for who it's for, and if it's not for you, then we suggest you don't watch it. I don't necessarily like responding to comments like this because they're so inherently based in a belief system that you literally don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? The perspective is that I want what I want when I want it, and everybody in the world wants what they want when they want it. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to leave the comment, so you left it. You know what I'm saying? You decided to, leave it or whatever, or watch. You know what I'm saying? You watch this podcast. You invited us into your life. We didn't invite you here, And so as far as it goes is, Yvette can ask me a straightforward question. I can respond to it because this is a candid conversation. And then I could not respond how I should, everyone thinks I should respond, because I don't necessarily know the ripple effect, or if I'm going to have time to explain it in a way that Yvette will understand me, and it's easier for me to show examples. You know what I'm saying? So after the podcast happened, we were able to I was able to like point out some specific moments where Yvette,
in real time,
to say, hey, like this is an example of how I perceive this. You know what I'm saying?
which is super helpful to me.
It's helpful, even though it's not. I don't know if control is the right way to explain it, but it is how I perceive it. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, man, I'm not. One thing is like super clear. I just want to be super clear about something. Like, this is not something we get paid to do. This is like a privilege for you to be a part of a really intimate, personal conversation. And there's a lot of other podcasts, Black people who, make content that you can follow them. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go subscribe to whatever podcast you want to subscribe to or whatever, but you don't have to do it here. But I always believe that my content is a privilege. It is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? If I could, I would never allow you to see our content again because I feel like it is that good and that real that not everybody deserves it. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of women probably believe that Yvette is a victim because I don't know what it is about me that, and I'm not asking either. Because I know, I'm like, so what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily care what everyone else thinks because I am in therapy and I'm getting the help I need in order to become the man I'm supposed to be.
And you're submissive to the Lord.
I'm submissive to the Lord, my community,
God.
the therapist, and my wife, and my children. Like, I'm submitted to the people around me who matter. Like, I'm on a journey, and best believe I didn't start this way. It was rougher in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, I've improved, even though I'm nowhere near to where I'm becoming. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't like it, then dip off. Like, this is not for you, and I'm okay with that. Babe, you have anything to add?
I align with this message. I think I love how Glenn described it as a journey because I feel like there was definitely a previous version of me that was not always as receptive to the way that Glenn delivered things all the time. But in my own growth, in my own therapy journey, in my own, awareness of the Holy Spirit and his voice and my attunement to his voice, I am able to receive how Glenn presents things in love. I'm not a victim. And I'm actually really grateful to have, to be in relationship with Glenn. I just feel like he does a really good job of communicating and loving me well and keeping the main thing as far as where we're headed. So, yeah, I know. I don't know. With these comments, it is one of those things where it's like, you just don't know, and that's okay. And I know that we have put ourselves out there in this way. And so people are going to have an opinion and they're going to say whatever they want to say. And I feel bad for even bringing this comment up to Glenn because I just think it could have just sat. I could have deleted it.
Nah, but it does speak to, like, as much as I don't care, I am bothered by the way people perceive me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I know who I am, but I also know, like, how everyone around me is. So the reason why I communicate the way I communicate is because, like I say, I don't have any time to be misunderstood. I want you to hear me because I don't want you to be confused. And if I pretty it up for you, it's going to be hard to, you might not get it. You might think I'm joking. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, like, I make decisions based on, who my family is, who my wife is, you know what I'm saying? The things that she said to me that she desires, you know what I mean? And the things that we've committed to each other. So a lot of people are they're okay with being misunderstood. They're okay with, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like, when you leave comments like this, that's not the best place to do it. You know what I'm saying? So you will be blocked. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? If you want to comment something to us and you wanted to get it over to us in the best way possible, hit us up on email. hello@howmarriedareyouPodcast.com. It's how you get through to us. But yeah, so this episode was all about, men's insecurities, and I'm sure mine just kind of peeked out a little bit right there. But in all sincerity, like the level and amount of commitment the amount of commitment we have to each other and couples in general, like lives beyond anybody's perception of who we are individually.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're committed to the entity of marriage, right? And like the significance of two people becoming one. And so most of you can't get past who we are individually, so you can't even see the value of a connection in a community.
So good.
You know what I'm saying?
Babe.
So like I'm not even here for the I rock with her, I rock with him. Like if you ain't about marriage, you're in the wrong place. You know?
See, and this is why I'm married to him, because he always just says it just how it needed to be said. That was well said.
Thanks, man.
I don't even want to say nothing else to ruin it. How married are you, my love?
I'm so married. Oh man, this is a bad one. I ordered Veggie Grill for myself. This crashes and burns.
What?
And then I was like, oh my gosh, Yvette's here. Yvette, do you want anything from Veggie Grill? And she was like, yes.
This is a horrible one. Why are you bringing this up? I don't understand where this is. I think you're missing the point of how married are you. Go ahead. Keep going. Let the people hear what happened.
So I then ordered Yvette the wrap that she wanted. Now I put 2 DoorDash orders again, which is a lot of money.
That is so much money.
So much money.
And I wish I would have known, because I would have said, don't even do it.
I didn't want to.
He didn't want to.
I snuck past her door and ate my sandwich. I was like, dang it. I didn't order her something. So I ordered her something. And then we had to go to Raya's play. So we left and went.
Yeah, because I was not about to wait and be late to my child's play. I would starve.
The food sat out there so long, someone stole our food. But I did pay twice.
Is there any way to say that somebody stole your food?
I don't want to be disappointed.
But
I've already been disappointed once.
We got robbed twice.
No. We're not going to talk about that this time. We're going to talk about that a whole nother time. But anyway, that's how married I am. Babe, how married are you?
I'm so married that yesterday. Gosh, it feels like it was much longer ago.
Much longer ago.
Does that not make sense? Anyways.
I like it.
Yesterday, I was having a rough day. It was basically, I came to understand that it was PMS. I didn't know it.
You never know it.
And isn't that crazy how every month I'm caught off guard by it? I'm just like, I feel.
Why do I want to kill you? Oh, I know why.
It's crazy. I don't know why that happens. But anyways, yesterday I just kind of just gave up at one point. Ditched the kids, came in my room, laid in my bed. And I'm so married that I took Glenn's pillow, hugged it, and sniffed it so much. Like there's something, you know how like when you have a baby and you just want to sniff them? There's something about your smell that does that has that similar effect on me.
Wow.
Like one day, I'm still married. I should save it for another day, but it's too late. I FaceTimed Glenn because I wanted to see him and smell him. So I had his cologne in my one hand. I had my phone in the other hand, and I was like looking like a crazy person. He had me on air, FaceTime with everybody in the office.
I just answered the FaceTime and she's just living there sniffing the bottle of my cologne. She's like, I wanted to see you and smell you at the same time.
And then didn't tell me. When you answer a FaceTime call, you have to tell people that there are other people in the room. That's crazy.
I did, but I was going to, but you saw them already. Because they were right in the camera. I'm sorry.
No, there was only whatever.
Anyway, Ovation Cologne is what I use. Stuff is fire, man. It's made by, I think, Sean Crenshaw, who's a black man from Atlanta.
Yeah, but it's not even just a cologne. It's like your
Pheromones.
your body soap and the cologne together, like it's just in there.
Yikes.
Do I seem crazy?
No, it's good.
Anyways, that's and that's just how married we are.